And welcome to the Monday, May 15th version of the Javier Mendez podcast. I'm wearing sunglasses today with the famous Javier Mendez, who's probably fresh off of training with Khabib and Kane. I saw Khabib around. Is he still around or did he go back yet?
He's still around visiting. He's he's doing what he said he was going to do. He's working the guys. Everybody has to understand he may not be in the corner, but doesn't mean he's not helping the guys train. He's always done that. He's going to continue to do that, but unfortunately, being in the corner at the present time hasn't happened. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be super nice if he can work the corner with Abu Bakr with me on June 3rd in Las Vegas. I'd love that, but I got the next best thing. I got him here training with us, because he has time to do that. So that's fantastic. So having him here as helping the fighters and as a coach it's a great experience for everybody. It's a great motivator for everybody, and they get to feel what it's like to go with one of the best ever. And they all come out just kind of like blown away by how easily he controls everybody. On top of the fact that he's like 20 pounds heavier now, but it's not fat; it's all muscle. So he's 20 pounds heavier and it's muscle, he's controlling everybody. So it's kind of like everybody's like, what the hell happened to me? I'm like, well,
Is
that's
he is he
Habib.
throwing is he throwing Kane around now that he's heavyweight?
No, he's not that big. I mean, Kane would be another level. He can probably go with Kane, but I don't think he'd do as well with those guys because there is so much weight disparity between Kane and him in DC. They're a little bit different, but he can go as high as like 205ers, no problem, no problem. And depending on who they are,
Mhm.
he can handle 220 pounders too. And like I said, it all depends on the level of skill set. Like a Cain Velasquez, a little too much on the skill set and size. But if Kane was like 40 pounds lighter, that'd be a different story.
Kane's been looking pretty light on his feet. I was watching one of the videos. I think it was on the American kickboxing reel there, where he was training somebody with the pad, and then he threw the flying knee at him real quick. He threw him off. I'm like, hey, I never
Uh,
saw him do that when
Well,
he
the
was
double
heavyweight.
knee, yeah, he did that with Shafi. He did a double knee with him. Yeah, he's just enjoys what he's doing. He's a blessing for me to have here coaching with us because to have that kind of experience and the humbleness of what he brings to the table with that vast, experience and championship mentality, it's unbelievable to have. Think about it. I got two great champions. One the greatest to me, Habib, and I got another great one, and Kane teaching with me. That's unbelievable. To have that kind of teaching help is incredible. Along with Ron Kessler, the head jiu-jitsu coach and MMA coach now, it's an unbelievable experience for anybody that comes through the doors at AKA at the present time. They're getting treated to some vast experience from major champions.
I noticed when I just look at the video, having filmed there so much, you kind of get a look at, there's something you get from being a camera guy for a long time, and you can look at film and read into something. And I was noticing how Habib was coaching Kane, and Kane was excited to have Habib doing some of the coaching, but I'm sure the same would go either way because both champions can respect, like, wow, that's my friend, but that's also a world champion. Like they both, even though they're a champion, they can get excited and they appreciate the value that the other champion brings. Wouldn't you say?
Correct. Oh, 100%. Even me, I coach them, but I get privileged to being coached by them too, and some of the things they do. So it's a humbling experience for me also. To hear the wisdom coming from them. And learning because the day you stop learning as a coach yourself is not a good day. And I'm always happy to be in the learning process. And every day I come in, I learn from somebody. Somebody is teaching me something, but to learn from great stars like them, it's an incredible experience.
I was looking at the Bellator in Paris. That looked like a big turnout. Did you catch any of that?
No, I caught the one I caught is that the one guy that Usman was gonna fight the favorite, the guy from France. I guess he
Mm-hmm.
lost, and now we're fighting. Shoot, what's his name? He's
Mister
really good. Yeah,
Mister
he's
Flexible.
yeah. What's his name? I forgot his name.
I did too.
He's really good. I mean, he's really good. Like, coach, you don't even know the guy's name.
Well, he gave one of your other fighters a hard time, didn't he?
Islam Mabadov beat him a split decision. It was a split decision. This guy's good. What's his name though?
I'll find it for you. Hang on one sec. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like memorizing all these names, and you and I go and do these podcasts.
Well, he's a known guy though. It's like we should know who the heck he is. He's not like an unknown.
We need to show a little more respect.
Yeah, because he's a well-known guy. He was a
Brent
former
Primus.
Brent Primus. Yeah, he was a former Bellator champion, for God's sake. I'm sorry, Brent. I mean, you should know who he is. If you're an MMA, if you're in the MMA business, like in the coaching business, I should know who he is, and I do know who he is. I just forgot his darn name.
Well, he's the guy that everybody thought was the dark horse, and you thought he might have been was Mansour Barnoui, who gave Islam troubles in his early days of fighting in Russia.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the dark horse. Obviously, I favor Usman over everybody, but I thought he was going to be the dark horse. But now Brett went and spoiled the party, so who knows what's going to happen? Now we're going to face Brett, and we'll see what happens there. But I'm too confident in Usman. Usman is just growing. He's just 25 years of age. He's just under 25, he's 24. He might have turned 25, but I know he's definitely 24, not over 25. But he's an unbelievable prospect. He's a world champion already. And just imagine 5 years from now how good this guy's going to be if he still wants to stick around. Unbelievable.
Well, it looks like he'll have the reach, but also looks like Brent is a very densely, well-muscle packed, athlete. But he's also Mr. Flexible. Brent Primus.
Yeah, he is.
He's like Mr. Rubber Man. Like his legs, somebody that buff you usually don't think has that flexibility. But I'm sure that's going to be a great fight. So is that kind of an air of relief, or is that like, oh wow, now different challenge now that Usman's next fight? I know you have 100% belief in Usman, but how does that change the psyche?
It doesn't change anything. The fact that he's the champion. So if you can't beat anybody, then you shouldn't be the champion. So he's the ruler of that division in Bellator. So he should beat anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. And if you can't beat those guys, then why are you holding the belt? So no, it doesn't change anything. It just we just have to prepare for a Brett. That's all. But it's, to be honest with you, it's really not much different for us. We still got the same thing. We still have a top rated guy that we have to beat. And it just so happens that it's somebody there was a dark horse against the guy. I forgot his name, but the guy from France. Who was really good. Barnoui, okay.
It's a hard. Yeah. It's not an easy one like Smith or Jones.
Yeah. Well, Barnoui, maybe over there in France, Barnoui is very common. So maybe it is like a Smith or Jones.
You're probably one of the few guys that can master complicated names. Having all the Dagestani guys, you got those down. I'm like, yep. If you've got any mouthful to remember,
no, that's why I don't pronounce their last names. And I find myself very troubled because not troubled, but I'm like, I say that Tahir, right? I know Tahir's first name, but I don't know his last name. Emma Shafi, I know his first name, but I don't know his last name. It's like Moblid. I know Moblid's first name, but I don't know his last name. And so no, I'm not. I'm by no means an expert. I'm the worst because I don't even know my fighters' last names. Gaethje. I don't know his last name. I can't even pronounce it. I'm horrible, man. I'm definitely horrible.
It's kind of how I've been working on using all this beautiful new, internet stuff to make movies and stuff. And I started working on the documentary, The Foundation of You. And I have an intro, The Champions of AKA. It's got starts with Luke and DC and them. The thing is,
you got too much time in your hands.
No. And my wife's like, you have no life. What are you doing up there? She calls my editing room upstairs the chicken house. I go up in the chicken house. So I guess I'm like a big chicken over here editing. I don't know. But I bought a tractor, so I'm not going to be editing all the time. I can drive my tractor around my yard and mow the lawn.
Well, you can mow the lawn with the tractor?
It's not a full-size tractor. It's like a little lawnmower thing that looks like those little tractor-looking things. But it's my new thing. I'm really excited because it gets hot out here. And fat guy pushing the lawnmower in the humidity is kind of dangerous.
Hey, what about Fabian Edwards beating Musashi, and it's mostly striking? What about that?
That was I don't know if it was surprising because Musashi, since his last fight, he didn't look good. It looks like he lost a step from his last fight. I really like the guy too. He's been amazing champion, multiple times against all kinds of top tier talent and beating them. And then his last two fights, he just looked like something's missing. I don't know if you noticed it because, I'd been there when he was winning and I noticed a whole different step, like something's missing, man.
Well, it was like he was in Bellator. He was like unbeatable. Then Johnny Eblen, right? Tore him apart. And like, whoa, okay, what the hell happened here?
He was expecting Johnny Eblen to beat him. He said, you can't necessarily hold this forever. It was in his pre-fight speech. He kind of alluded to it preemptively, because I guess
but from everybody I hear, he's the real deal, though. And and he is the real deal. I haven't seen that fight, believe it or not. I haven't seen Johnny fight. But everybody I hear from, they say what you say. They all say what you say. So you have to believe he is exactly what you say, a beast. So he's probably going to be there for a while.
He was an unknown to me when he was going to face against Musashi, and I'm like, who's this guy? Musashi beats everybody. I'm just automatic. It's kind of like Anderson Silva in his prime, right? You're like everybody's going away, but then this guy steps in, and it's like he was saying it like. You can't necessarily hold on to it forever or something like this before his fight. And Johnny Eblen, like you've heard, is the man behind the scenes to a lot of different gyms, right?
Yeah. A lot of people. I mean, I read about him. Everybody, hey man, everybody's on board, man. He's the real deal.
Well, styles make fights, so him against Fabian Edwards. I didn't really know much about Fabian Edwards before this fight. Have you been watching Fabian's career for a while?
No, I watched him. I mean, come on, he's the champ's brother. So obviously they get great sparring.
The champ from England's brother.
Leon Edwards' brother. Yeah, it's
Leon Edwards'
brother. Yeah.
Okay, different. Yeah. They look a little different in the way they perform.
Yeah,
different dance moves on the fighting floor.
Yeah, So that's why
that would be an interesting one. I mean, it's kind of like you having. Two, not two Nurmagomedovs, but two Dagestani lightweight champions at the same time in two different companies.
Yeah.
The only way to top that off is to have one at one at the same time as well. That would be insane.
Yeah.
No one's going to ever break that. But yeah, I mean, doing a deep dive on all the people that have been there, even the artificial intelligence forgets to pull people up like Josh Thompson or other people that were champions. Like I was trying to get into the Strike Force. And like, there's so many people, it just kept listing forever. And I'm like, Hav probably doesn't remember them all unless he looks at the wall. That's your daily flashcard to look at all the fighters on the wall when you walk in the gym. I mean, everybody on that wall was a champion, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody that wasn't a champion. Oh, well, there's some that weren't, right?
Well, they're to the ones in the front of the wall, they're all champions, but not everybody's up there. The ones to the right of wall are TV fighters, like major TV fighters, and there's a whole bunch that are not up there either. I mean, we keep changing, new people come in, and there's only so much wall space. So, we put what we can, and it just looks attractive, to people to see the history.
That's pretty cool. So what's new? What are you noticing with Abu Bakr? How's he liking his training, having a double team with Kane?
And, he loves it. He loves it. Yeah, he loves it. He's got a real tough fight. Real tough fight. Yeah. His opponent is good everywhere. Good on the ground, good on the stand-up. We have a war in our hands. We do not have an easy fight. I think Abu Bakr can do it. He can definitely edge out a win, but it isn't going to be an easy fight by any means. If this becomes an easy fight, I'm going to be shocked. I'll be shocked if it's an easy fight. Yeah, I expect for us to win because I have to. That's my guy. That's what we're training to do. If we're not training to win, what am I training him for? To lose? No, of course not. But I believe it's going to be a really, really tough fight. This opponent's really good everywhere. Good striker. Good. He does like Abu Bakr. He switches left and right. He kicks bottom low, kicks up top. Does good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, good defense. Good offense. Capoeira too. He's got a little element of capoeira in him too, so he adds a lot of things mixed into the picture. He's very, very, very tough opponent. We have to figure out what to do, and once we get in there, we'll figure it out. But right now, we're preparing for a super tough fight.
And this one's going to be coming up. And which card is this on again?
June 3rd. The Apex. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like a Brazilian guy if you said capoeira. I'm trying to look.
Yeah, it's Brazilian. He's Brazilian. It's Dos Santos. His last name is Dos Santos.
Well, that's always a dangerous name. It's kind of like having hearing Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, he's a real
Hear
he's a
that?
real he's a really good striker. Really good striker.
So you get Kai Kara France is headlining that against Amir Albazi. And then let's see where they have him up here on the card. Yeah, he's been this guy's got a hard name to pronounce. No wonder you don't remember his name. It's like Elizu Zaliski dos Santos. Yeah. That's
I just know Dos Santos. The good thing is I'm not a commentator. I don't have to know their names.
Well, he did have trouble with the Russian guy before, Muslim Salikov.
King of Sanda.
Yeah.
The split decision win for Salikov. But it was a close fight, man. Close fight.
Yeah. And this guy's and you know, his record, he's like actually Abu Bakr has a pretty good record. They look like they're pretty evenly matched. 17-3 versus 23-7.
No, yeah, you know, Manap's good with anybody, bro. He can fight anybody. He's that good. He's good. He's gotten even better. So no, he's the guy's good, man. Good everywhere.
Well, when you see him now, you know, where a lot of the focus is more on him, do you see a difference as a coach? Like he's getting a lot more focus for this fight than he does.
You know, he's with the years that are coming on, with all the coaching he's had from Khabib and all the great coaching he has at home, you know, in Dagestan. It's like coming together. You know, he's coming together at the right time when he's going to need it, because his next opponent, he's going to need to be better than he was the last fight in order to accomplish his goal, winning. You know, he's got a tough fight, man. The guy he's fighting, Dos Santos, is no joke. You guy's very good everywhere, and you know, I have to be careful what we're doing, and I have to look at everything, because any one little missed opportunity can cost us the fight. You know, he himself can't mess up, because guys that are this good capitalize on mistakes, and you can't make any mistakes with a guy like that.
That's for sure. So what did you think about the UFC fights on ABC? Did you catch those, or you watched the replay you were telling me?
I watched the replays because I didn't know they were that early in the morning. I'm like,
they were early.
Dang it! I did get to watch the main event. You know, with the heavyweight. You know, the Brazilian sensation. Very impressed with him. Extremely impressed with him. Jalton is the only person that could, in my opinion, that's going to give him problems and possibly beat him is John Jones.
Yeah,
John Jones is the only guy I see that he's going to have problems with, you know. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how long John Jones lasts. But if Jalton keeps going the way he's going, and John Jones is still wanting to stick around, they'll match up at some point, because he's that good. That guy's that good. But I don't know if he can get by the great one. You know, that's not an easy task. John Jones is so smart. He's so smart, so smart. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And the other great fight was Ian McGeary. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one. He fought Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is no joke, and he baited him, right? He go to the body, go to the head, then go to the body again. Then he looked like he was going to the body. He went up top, caught him clean with the shin kick to the neck, finished the fight. Very intelligent fighting from a striker. Probably a good ground guy too. I don't know. I would imagine he could do everything, but he basically showed great fundamentals in striking, great strategy, you know, and being able to change it up. Whether it was a game plan of his or his corner, I don't know. But I do know that what he did was very impressive. And he did it to another striker that's a very impressive striker. Daniel Rodriguez is no joke. He's had some really, really tough fights and great wins too. You know, the guy's not easy to finish either, and he finished them. So Ian he's top 10, definitely going to make top 10 after that, and one or two more fights, and he'll probably get a title fight if he continues to do what he's doing.
You know, the other I'll call it a classic. Matt Brown versus Court McGee. That was a classic fight. It was like, you know, it's like when you watch a classic, good classic movie. These guys are wild. Yeah. But you see Matt Brown get the knockout over Court McGee.
Yeah. Well, how can you not love Matt Brown? I mean, my God, that guy, he's like as real as they get. That's a real G right there. He's a real G. He's like, you know, and he's a gentleman in a way too, because you saw what he did when he knocked him down. That was it. He didn't go through and go crazy on the guy, and he knew what was happening. He controlled that whole thing. He landed that beautiful right hand, and Court, I think Court knew he was done, you know. And so yeah, no, he's got the record for wins, right? Most knockouts. He's tied, right? He's tied for the most. Yeah. So knowing him, he's probably going to want the record. Why leave on a tie? Go out on getting the most knockouts. So he's probably looking for a favorable matchup that'll benefit him, because you know he's 42 years of age. You know, so but he's still he's still
45-year-old, a 48-year-old, maybe.
Yeah, well, you know, somewhere in that 38 range, 37 or something is be good for him. You know, the sooner the better. You know, he's healthy. You know, I mean, I like watching him fight. He's a, you know, guts and glory guy. You know, he's like you said, a throwback, but he's fun to watch, man. And you know, he's entertaining. He knows, you know, he's got a different persona, and his persona is entertaining. It's a real macho man. You know, this is the real man. He's not a bully. He's not this. He doesn't push people's buttons. He just, hey man, he goes, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I like him.
That's a good one, man. So there's not like super lot coming up. I did tell you earlier. Somebody was talking about was it Cody Garbrandt was talking like how, oh yeah, bring it on Islam, like he was trying to antagonize. Yeah, was it Cody Garbrandt? It is Cody, right? Cody Covington.
No,
Cody Covington. My bad. Yeah, it was like
Garbrandt. I go Garbrandt.
No. I mixed the two up. My bad. Yeah, he was saying come up. He's like he doesn't want to come up here and fight. He was trying to like antagonize him. You know, talking from the top like he's already won the belt and he's in control of the steering wheel. But he does, you know, makes the needle move. Who cares? Let's go. Would you like to see that match? I mean,
of course, he's a needle mover. Of course, you want him because you know he's like an Nate Diaz type guy. Different mentality how they approach things, but they're needle movers, you know. And I mean, you want to watch Kobe. I like watching him fight. I want him to lose more than I want him to win. But I know what he is it's not who he really is, and that's why, you know, I don't dislike him, because I know that's not who he really is. But I don't want him to win because of the way he portrays himself. So I do want him to lose. I shouldn't. I should, because you know he brings entertainment. You know, I should want to win. His character's good. It's a good character. I like his character. Just maybe I wouldn't. Some of the words he uses, I wouldn't choose to use them. You know, but I know it's like, you know, he's like the rated X of Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen was rated PG, right? This guy's rated X. You know, he goes Chael Sonnen plus, you know. So he's in that rated X department as far as I'm concerned, because no holds are barred from this guy. He goes all up, you know.
Yeah, Kobe, sell the fight. Islam probably would like that a lot.
Yeah, he's a fantastic persona.
You're a fantastic dude.
Yeah, but you know, first he's got to get by Leon Edwards, you know, and that's not going to be no easy task. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying that's not going to be an easy task. That'll be fun to watch. I'll tell you that. I'll be definitely watching that one. That'd be a fun fight. Cubby's fun to watch, man. I like watching him fight.
A lot of cardio, tough guy.
Yeah, he's got great cardio. He comes back. When he loses, he thinks he won. You know, and when he wins, he thinks he won better than what he won. But he does win, and you know, he's basically a winner when he loses. He's a winner when he wins. So, you know, he's a winner no matter what.
Now, I was saying something earlier, and I'm not trying to be sneaky, Mr. Gotcha, because that's the last thing I'll ever do on this podcast. Because I know you have remote control, you could turn me off like that. But anyways, I know that there's rumors about Umar supposed to be fighting, and they have a big fight lined up. Now, do you know what it is? You can't. I'm not going to tell me. I know you're not. But do you know? You have any ideas? And is it an exciting thing that you know about? Just that much.
I can tell you they're trying to get him a top 5 guy. Don't know where. Don't know when. Because that's, you know, everybody's denied him. I could tell you that the number 1 guy declined him because he should decline him. I would fight somebody else. I wouldn't fight Umar, and he did that for the right reason, because nobody wants to risk their title shot position for a guy that's in the top 10, just like Islam. Remember, same thing.
Islam risked it. Islam went way out there.
No, but Islam was the top. He was like number 11. Then he got a really low guy, and then he won that fight, and that's where he got the title shot. Same thing with Umar. Same thing with Khabib. Remember, Khabib is the same boat. Nobody wanted to fight Khabib. They're all in the same boat. Umar's following in Khabib's footsteps, to be honest with you. So who he gets, I don't know. All I know is this. I want a main event for him, because that's what's going to get him to the next step, and I want a top 5 guy or 6. I don't know which one they're going to work out, and Yeah, you know, you'll know when the UFC announces it, but I don't know who it is. I know we want the top six, and this is what I do know in the business because I've been in the business long enough to know they may be talking about one guy, right? And next thing you know, you got another guy, and you're thinking, oh yeah, you announce, oh yeah, we're gonna fight so and so. Before you know it, you're fighting somebody else. When Khabib fought for the title, there was all that mix up. Remember with you know, what do you call it?
Tony.
No, with Max Holloway. Remember, couldn't make the weight. They wouldn't allow him to, whatever, for whatever
Oh,
reasons.
that was the most confusing thing ever. I was making a
Yeah.
video on it. He changed opponents like 4 times or something.
Yeah. So what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that's the fight game. They know not everything works out the way it is. So people that are out there thinking, oh, they're playing games. Yeah, everybody's playing games.
He
Everybody
was
is.
supposed to fight Tony, and then Tony wouldn't work, so they brought in Max Holloway, and Max Holloway was looking unsafe at the weight cut, so they booted that one out. And then there was another guy, that I think the Irish Dragon, but he wasn't ranked high enough to make it formally a title fight. So then they had to end up going with the guy from New Jersey,
Yep.
the guy who sells real estate. I
Yep.
forget the gentleman's name, and I like him too. Al.
Yeah. Yeah.
Al.
Yep. Yep.
Ali
Yep. Yep.
Quinta.
Aliquinta. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
yeah, that's a crazy story. And I mean, well, people don't realize. I mean, you know, it's funny. It'd be cool if we had Habibi could explain it, but the nerves of it's one thing if you change for one kind of guy. It's like if I'm going to take you to the Olympics, Javier, tomorrow you're going to go in a downhill ski race. You're going to like, okay, I can get my head around that. Like, no. Tomorrow you're going to go for a 24-mile marathon run. That's what we're going to put you in. No. We're changing it. Tomorrow you're going to be on the ski jump. Well, I've never done that. Yeah, but you got to do the ski jump tomorrow because that's all we get open for you, right?
Well, this is the beauty of Khabib. It didn't matter who he was going to fight.
I know it didn't matter.
The same game plan was going to be put in with whoever he fought. The only problem with Al was I had a problem with Khabib standing with him because Al wasn't hard to hit, but Al could take a good shot and he can also give one back. And I was afraid that Al would catch Khabib, and his father had entrusted Khabib on my shoulders, so it was a big deal for me to make sure that Khabib followed two fathers' plan, and he wasn't for a little while there. He was doing Muhammad Ali jab, and we even told him. DC even told him. I told DC, I need you to help me with Khabib. Please tell him not to be standing with this guy because this guy is dangerous. Khabib can outstrike him, but that's not going to be good enough.
It's not worth the risk.
No, the risk is too heavy
because a puncher's chance equals everything.
And this guy could take a punch and he can give a punch. Aliquinta catches you, could put you out, and I didn't want to risk that. And I knew the one thing that Al couldn't do with us is he couldn't deal with the ground. So that's why it was one of those, But the thing is with my Dagestan guys, they're so well rounded that what you're saying does apply, but for them it doesn't apply very much at all because they can do everything. They can do everything. They're well-rounded MMA fighters. Khabib was one of the few that couldn't do everything as well. Like he wasn't as good a kicker, until the very end. He wasn't a great kicker, but he started learning how to kick and knee and the whole bit. But at the very end, Khabib became really well-rounded, and he was actually beating all the guys in sparring here just with strikes, whereas before it was all ground and pound. He'd always take those guys down. They had no chance. But at the very end there, Khabib was standing with the guys and beating all the guys up on stand-up because he could. He was that good at stand-up. And that's the only thing I got to say that maybe was a shame that people didn't get to see is how good his stand-up evolved. His stand-up was really good at the very end. Really, really good.
Do you think he still has the itch in the back of his mind? And you see him sitting there at the gym? I know he's not going to tell you I'm coming back or any of that.
No,
but you think that's there?
No, he'll never come back. No, he's going to be 35 years of age September. 35 years is the decline, and he promised his family he would give their time to them. He ain't gonna go back. He's not gonna go back on his promise to his family to be there for them. He's not gonna fight ever again. No, I seriously doubt that, and he shouldn't. He's gonna get too old, and if he believes in what he says about 35 is the peak, then it's time to get out. Well, you're gonna be 35 real soon. And he has to get into the USADA testing pool 6 months before. So 6 months from now, he's going to be 35. Then he's got to prepare for the fight. Nah. If he asks me, which he probably wouldn't ask me, but if he did, I would tell him don't do it. Stay retired. And the only thing I would like is for him to, you know, later down the line be in the corner with me, because he's a humongous you know, inspiration for the guys. And you know, and what a corner man he is. He's a great coach, you know, and to have another coach with me that is good inspiration and knows the guys in inside and out like he does would be a great honor for me, you know. But that's the only thing. But that's on him. That's on him. The guys understand that, you know, he's doing his thing, and but he's still helping them. He's here. He's here grappling with the guys and helping them out, helping coach, you know. But he's just not going to be in the corner. So
Is
they
it,
know.
is,
They know that.
did Umar make it out? I thought I saw a picture of him there. Or was that another picture from another time?
No, he was here one day.
Oh, he did. I figured he'd come out and visit you.
Yeah, well, he no, the UFC brought him down to do watch the fights, because, you know, they wanted him in there to advertise him. The UFC is a marketing genius. They know what they're doing. They brought him down for a reason. There, you know, there's something big coming up for him with somebody. So that, you know what it is, we'll see. I know it. I know the next move is like you're you know, you're kind of leading up to saying something's going to happen for Umar. Yeah, I believe so too. But who it is, I don't know. When, I don't know. You know, obviously, it's not going to be next month. It's going to be 2 months and longer. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about August, September, November, December? Yes. I say August. Let's say late July, August, September, November, December timeframe is when he'll get a dance partner for his next fight. And hopefully, I hope it's a main event or co-main event. That's what I'm hoping for, because to get the spotlight, you need the spotlight. You got to build a person in order to go to the next level. And I don't care about the opponent. I don't care. And I believe I'm correct when I'm saying this. Umar doesn't care. Just give me somebody in the top 5. I don't care who it is. And I don't care either. He's going to have to fight them all. And the way I look at it, you know, you're going to have to fight whoever's up and, you know, for that title. Whoever the UFC puts in front of you, take. That's what the champion's supposed to do. That's why Islam doesn't care who the UFC picks. Whatever. Give me whoever. I don't care. You know, and when Islam is done with the lightweight division, you know, then he should go up to welterweight if he still wants it. If he doesn't, no. But he has to want it. I don't want it for him. He wants it. So if he wants it, I want it. If he doesn't want it, I don't want it. So Islam should do that, but he should do that when he's ready. Now, this is one thing I want, you know, and of course, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I'd like to see, you know, Alex and him rematch at some point down the line. I think that would be great for the MMA community, because I think the way the last fight ended, I think there needs to be a rematch. I really do. I'd like to see a rematch. I'd like to see a final decision. Unless he doesn't get past Yair, then doesn't mean much. He's got to get past Yair, which I don't think it's as easy as that, because Yair is very tricky. So it's a different fight, you know, and yeah, for different fighters, you got to prepare different. They're not all the same. Just because A beats B doesn't mean that B beats C. No,
Right.
no,
Right.
they're all different, man. It's just different.
Could be a guy ranked number 13 who could take out the world champion.
Yes.
Well, 12 all the way up to 1 can't touch him.
Yeah.
But 13 has the magic. But
Yep.
13 would also get wiped out by all the other 12.
The other 12. Yes, exactly. So that's the way it works. You know, it just depends on what you do, you know.
That's pretty wild. So it's just been pleasure having the guys around, having the team. I mean, in all your years of coaching, he's the only guy that's really in there coming back, him and Kane. It's nice to kind of like have a constant family reunion.
Can you imagine if I had DC still here coaching? What a great coaching staff I would have. Khabib, Kane, DC, you know. Can you imagine that? Unbelievable. But as it is, I'll take what I got. I got Kane now, you know, more full time. You know, let's see what happens with Kane. I love Kane being on board. He's an unbelievable coach, unbelievable inspiration, and the heavyweights get with somebody that knows what's up, you know, and can teach them, so that, you know, the heavyweights that are here, not many of them though, they get to have the privilege of being with one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Yeah, I remember when Bam Bam came out just before the old lockdown. And he was getting some serious grappling. He came all the way out to your gym because he's like, I can't find it down here, mate.
Well, yeah, and well, you know, now Bam Bam is, you know, he's settled in what he's gonna do. He's a striker primarily, and he's gonna continue to, you know, be a striker always. So let's see what happens with him. But you know,
he's
Bam
successful now.
He's very successful now. He's got his beer company, Drink Quest, right? You know, so So I'm sure that thing's doing really well. You know, he made it very popular.
He's got a personality and do whatever he wants, just like that.
I think so.
But I think some people find hard. He just does natural anything.
Yeah.
Podcasting, talking,
You name
being
it.
a showman.
You name it. Yeah. Bam Bam is a natural.
So anybody else coming to the gym? Anybody new that you're expecting that's going to be having a big fight coming soon of the team that I haven't mentioned already?
There, I have Gaethje and I have Moblid. He's fighting in the semifinals of PFL. They're fighting. Moblid is fighting. Who is he fighting?
Let me see.
I think he's fighting. I forgot the guy. I know the guy. I trained. He was in the Ultimate Fighter with us. He's a wrestler. Gee, what's his name?
I'm going to give it to you. He's Tyler Diamond.
Tyler Diamond. There you go. Tyler Diamond. Yeah.
So Tyler Diamond, he used to train with you guys?
No, Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Josh Koscheck, Ultimate Fighter, or DC. DC.
Wow.
Yeah, he was DC Ultimate Fighter. DC, not Josh Koscheck. Sorry, DC.
So Tyler's coming off a loss to Brendan Logain, who's pretty good fighter.
Brendan is the guy that won it the last year when Moblid didn't enter, and Brendan was the guy that Moblid won the title from. So it's kind of like those two guys are going to potentially go head to head again. So Brendan is probably going to go at it with Moblid again. From what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking Moblid is going to get by Tyler. Though anything's possible because Tyler is he's experienced. He's a good fighter, been around a long time. But I'm thinking Moblid is just going to be too much on the wrestling for him. But let's see.
What a record. I mean, Moblid's pretty much undefeated except for one draw, right?
20-0-1, yeah. Yeah, one draw. Yeah, he's undefeated.
So Tyler's 12-2.
Yeah.
And he's just like getting his way to the top, and another $1 million. $1 million's not enough. Go Moblid. You know?
Yeah. It's $1 million. I think I don't know how the system works, but the PFL has got a good system on pay. They pay really well.
That's awesome.
Really well. As a matter of fact, one of the greatest glory kickboxers of all time, Cedric. Was it Doumbé? Doumbe. Doumbé. Cedric Doumbé. He's one of the baddest dudes ever in the glory. He went with the PFL, and he trained here for two training sessions before he had any MMA fights. And wow, I can't wait to see what he looks like. He's impressive, man. Cedric Doumbé, he's unbelievable.
That's pretty awesome.
He's like one of the few people that you can see can transition to MMA really well. Low center of gravity, has great knowledge on instinctive knowledge, not experience, just instinctive. He was very instinctive on the grappling, very instinctive, and his stand-up is like, wow. I mean, he was one of the greatest for a reason, right?
Be exciting to watch him.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome, Hav. We got good catching up there. And if Khabib gets bored, he's welcome to come on and ask us some fan questions.
Now, let me ask you one simple question.
Sure.
Why do you think Kron Gracie decided to go back to the old, when his last fight, he went back to the old style versus the new style? Like he fought jiu-jitsu base Hoist Gracie style all the way. And the guy could strike. You know, Kron could strike, and he chose to do jiu-jitsu. And I mean, what is the reason behind that? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, was it peer pressure from the jiu-jitsu community?
I wonder.
Was it bringing back the lineage of how this MMA became great? His family, his family lineage and heritage brought what UFC is all about. That's what basically they started it, but they started it a certain way. So he went back to completely old style, boot and scoot and the whole bit. And
do I think he was trying to remarket the Gracies, give a nice kick in the butt to get everybody excited to come back and join the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu gyms? Who knows? I mean, that's a possible thing. I mean, that's one thing, and bring pride back, to the family that way. But unfortunately, it's like,
well, I think personally, my personal feeling is the pride to the family. It's the legacy. Sorry, the pride's going to be there for life.
I mean, the legacy.
Without the great Gracies, there's not going to be no UFC. Without their great vision, there wouldn't be anything. So to me, They already proved that. They already
Yeah.
proved that their system's the best ever. Their system the best ever. And I don't care what anybody says. Their system is the best ever. But you just have to adapt. That's all, and move on to something that's going to add to your great, your great art. And they have the greatest singular art in the history. And I say it, and you can look at the history of the fight sports, and I doubt anybody can beat what I'm saying. They got the greatest.
I've been rewatching them a lot, and I just watched when they had no rules, and he was fighting Chemo.
Yeah,
and he went for the ponytail lock, because he had nothing to grab on. He couldn't grab. Big old Chemo was just, dogging him. He probably had like 6
and no time limits too. You got to remember that too. There's no
Yeah.
time limits. There was hardly any rules and no time limits. So they weren't. So being in somebody's, having somebody in your guard was not uncommon, and you could be in the guy's guard for a whole hour, and they're just wearing you down before you know you're out. But see, this is entertainment. This is not real fighting. If it was real fighting, then you wouldn't see these guys go for all these moves right away because they only have 5 minutes. So if you have a whole
you're laying there for an hour, half an hour, for the guy to fall asleep, and sneak up on his arm.
Well, the guy can't go nowhere. He can't get out nowhere, so they can hold you down. They're masters at holding you down. So if there's no time limit, I mean, we might see a whole different ball game. That's it. The whole different ball game. But I'm just saying, everything's evolved, and they need to add the greatest gift they brought us, and add to the greatest gift that they have. That's all.
I was thinking, like, I don't know. I've watched the Gracies, and why would you do that? Why would you go back? I mean, I don't get it, man. It's like dancing without rhythm. I mean, that's the best way I can put it, man. Why did you go back to,
no, it's like, the thing is, like I said, they're great, but they just needed to add that great. You said dancing without rhythm. Well, no, they're incorrect. They have great rhythm. They have the best rhythm. They just added new tools to their greatness. That's all. That's all they needed to do. And he did it. He did it in the last fight. He was fantastic. He went out there punching, doing everything. He did really good. He just didn't do it this time around. And why? I don't know the answer.
Maybe he thought he had some move that guy was susceptible to the grapevine. Oh, this guy, he's really susceptible to a leg lock or a choke or something, and he was after that. I don't know, but then you still get your punches. Why aren't you instinctively using those? I don't get it.
Who knows? I don't know. I just know that he was capable of striking, because he's shown at the fight before that, that he was a hell of a striker. He became a hell of not a bad striker at all. When he went with what's his name, the guy from Albuquerque. Shoot, you know what I'm talking about?
Cowboy.
No. He's a smaller guy. He was Greg. He was with Greg Jackson. He became a Hall of Famer. He was a Hall of Fame with his fight with the Korean Zombie. He became a Hall of Famer.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but
there's so many fighters now. We used to only have 10, so we could just name them all off.
No, right? But I mean, I should know his name. It's like, why I forget people's names? That's ridiculous. Again,
Jourdain,
Cub Swanson.
Cub
Swanson, yeah.
Cub beat him.
Yeah, Cub beat him, but it wasn't an easy fight. Yeah. It was a great fight. He gave Cub hell, and he could have easily won that fight too. But I'm saying is, that version that fought was a better version than the version he showed this last fight.
I don't know. When do you see people they just start declining sometimes? It's like
he didn't decline. It wasn't the decline. It was a choice.
Different camp, different focus.
I don't know. It was a choice. He chose to do this. I'm just saying, was it bad advice for somebody? I don't know. All I know is he's much better than that. But maybe he was trying to bring the old style back in and win with the old style. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. Only he knows. All I know is that he's a good fighter, and he's a good fighter. That's all I know.
Speaking of old school, I was supposed to have. I was going to call you up, but he wasn't able to make it, and I had a sunburn. I am sunburnt, man. I was trying to have Remco on And I'm like, I look like a tomato, but he'd probably be available next weekend. I think he was at the Bellator down there in France.
What is? Do we have any fights this week?
We got one. This card is kind of like not a big headliner card. What do we get? We get McKenzie versus Angela Hill.
Okay, that should be a fun fight.
And then we have Shabazian against Anthony Hernandez. Didn't Edmund train with you guys for a little bit?
Yeah, for 3-4 months, and yeah.
And then another female one is Emily Ducote versus Lupita Godinez. And I'm not familiar with either. I haven't seen them fight, or I don't remember their fight from a while back. Andre Fialho and Joaquin Buckley.
Oh, okay. Andre used to be trained with us. He's with Henry Hoof now. Good fight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, it's like I just
it's gonna be a good fight. Joaquin Buckley and Andre Fialho it's gonna be a good fight. Very good fight. Both bangers. So it's gonna be a good fun fight. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be a good fight. I hope Andre wins. He's my boy, but it's a tough fight. And Buckley is no joke.
Yeah, Buckley's he's a beast.
Yes.
Yeah, so Andre's from Portugal, huh?
Yeah.
So he came out from Portugal to come train with you?
Yeah, he was with us for about 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a whole bunch of training there. It's better to get over to see you guys. A lot of international guys like to come out and see you whenever you've...
It's too tough for people to live here. That's the problem. It's not easy.
Too expensive.
Too expensive. And unless you got a lot of money, this is not the place to go. Fighters struggle as it is. It's tough to be here, man. Real tough.
Come out here, Hav. We'll get a big piece of land for pennies on the dollar and a bunch of trailers. And then they can all have their own trailer park houses, and we're not worried if they wreck them. Right by the gym. Yeah, rent a trailer. It's $400 a month. Oh, okay. I'm fighting. That's the only way to sustain. You need something with the cost of living. Spain and Portugal would be an amazing place to have a gym, but I don't see you uprooting to go there. Just the cost of things. California, is it getting more ridiculous, huh? It's getting there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for a great podcast, Hav.
All right, buddy.
I mean,